now, Group L, the England group. We're going to start off. We'll start off away from England actually, and then we'll come back into it because I think we and you probably, obviously having our allegiances to England, might have a little bit more to say on them. The teams that are, I think we assume England are going to win this group. I think is fair to say. So we'll come on to them later on. So for me, I would turn around and say that it's between Croatia and Ghana for that second spot. Yeah. Now, based on what you know of Croatia, because obviously you've seen them at previous tournaments, what do you think their major strengths are going to be at this competition? Because for me, I see this as the decline of Croatian football, not the rise of it. And I feel like this is going to be, maybe the first sort of telling sign that this is sort of the end of what has been a very good period of Croatian football.
Yeah, they've done very well with the players that they've had, because they've had a very good midfield, I feel, over the last couple of tournaments. We didn't see them as much in the last. I think they got beat 3-0 by Argentina when they got knocked out.
Possibly, I can't remember. Possibly, did they not? I can't remember now.
I don't remember them getting too far. But at the same time, I'm looking at their squad, and obviously Luka Modric, he's still playing, he's still going, still great footballer. However, he's 40 now. As a midfielder,
I don't think he's going to have the legs.
I
don't think he's going to have the legs.
Think so either. Then Kovacic next to him, again, good player.
Doesn't play that much for Man City. I worry about his. I worry about his fitness levels as well.
Yeah, and then Perisic is still playing at 37 for him, which again, great player on his day, but it's new. I think they're going to have to rely a lot more on their defensive stuff. They've got Livkovic in goal, who's a solid goalkeeper for Zagreb. You also got a decent back three, which is what they play. They've got Vardio, who was one of the breakout youngsters in the last World Cup anyway, before Man City signed him. You also got Vuskovic, who a lot of us could have a look at for the first time, because he's been on loan from Tottenham this whole season to Hamburg, and he was actually part of the team of the year there out there. And he's only 19.
That'd be cool.
So
that'd be cool. Yeah.
He's what we want to watch. And they've got Statulo from Ajax, who I know is just a solid player. Another one.
Ajax have been so poor in recent years. I do find it very hard to judge their players at the moment, just because of everyone else in the squad. Individually, there's players of quality there, but they cannot seem to get it together. So he might be one of those players that, again, different system, could be very, very good, but it's very hard to know for me anyway. But it's consistent though. It's very consistent.
It's a consistent looking team. It's like you've also got Stanisic from Bayern Munich, who has been playing a lot for them this year. They've got Kramaric in their front line, who's been around for the last decade.
Yeah, and always wanted a little bit more from him, I have to say.
Yeah, but again, he's still someone that could, score a goal. And it's like, they done well qualified quite easily in what was a fairly weak group, with like Czech Republic and Gibraltar and stuff like that. So, it's still fairly easy, but it's like you look at them now as like, okay, they're not the Croatia of old where you'd be kind of scared to play against them. I think for England's sake, I think playing them first, get them out of the way,
massive. Yeah, that's a massive bonus. Yeah, I agree.
Because then England then can focus on the game against Ghana and then Panama in the last one.
This is what I was going to ask you, Cameron, is the reason why I wanted to give, and start off with Croatia. For me, this is a two-horse race for second. That's it. Yeah. Panama, with all due respect to them, I don't think are going to do very well at this tournament. Again, like many others, I turn around and see that their sort of main aim is to score goals, try and pick up a point maybe if they're lucky. I think Ghana are the better of the two teams. I've got to be honest, I think that I don't necessarily even know that much about Ghanaian football. I've got to be completely honest with you, but I'm seeing one man in their attacking line, and that for me already strikes more fear into me as an England fan of having to deal with him than it does about having to deal with anyone from Croatia. I've got to be honest. Semenyo.
Yeah,
he's the sort of player that I feel like could really burst out of this tournament, and I wanted to get your opinion on him. Obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan. We were linked with signing him and gutted that we didn't. and obviously he's gone on to Man City and obviously scored against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. The types of goals that he scores are very different, but the best he ever looks for me is if you give him half a yard of space and he can make you pay. He is not going to get half a yard of space in this tournament. He is going to get 5 yards of space in this tournament.
You have got, I mean, we've mentioned it plenty of times already. The heat, for one. African nations will be used to it more than a lot of the other teams in it. South America
and the pitches as well. That's another big factor.
If they're not the best, they could be more used to the bobbles on their pitch. But Semenyo, he could have arguably been Premier League Player of the Year as well. He was brilliant for Bournemouth, and then he was brilliant for Man City. Arguably better than what Haaland was in that second half of the season for City as well.
Yes, I will say that's very fair. Yes, 100%.
And then you're looking at the rest of the team. For Ghana, their defence is the weak point. There's no one in that I'm looking at now who I really recognise, half recognise, but still I'm like, okay, they're not great.
I don't necessarily think that in this, because again, I don't think Croatia's attack is that good.
No,
I don't. I feel like this, unless you disagree with me here, Cameron, I feel like this group is very much decided by Ghana's attack versus Croatia's defence.
Yeah.
And I feel like the quality and the form that comes from Ghana's attack, particularly from Semenyo, I just feel like might have half a chance of getting through Croatia's back line. And I think that, we could be in a position where I'm not going to say that, I don't think that Ghana aren't going to concede goals. But I could see Ghana winning games 2-1, 3-2, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I can't see Croatia doing that.
Yeah.
I feel like if they're going to win it, they're going to win their games 1-0.
Yeah. Croatia will be very much going out for the grinding 1-0 type result, but Ghana will have to just score goals. And they've got the power to do it, apart from Semenyo. Inaki Williams from Atletico Bilbao. Good player. Jordan Ayew, we've seen him. He is a bit on the older side now, but he can still offer a moment. And then Fatawu from Leicester.
Yeah, all those people need to do though is link up well. That's the thing. They just need to link up well with themselves, and I think that they're going to cause problems. Without spending too much time on Croatia and Ghana, we of course need to talk about the team that will surely win the group. And obviously, I'm very biased, of course, as a big England fan. But how far do you, Cameron, think England are going to go in this tournament? Because I'll be honest with you, I know there's a lot of people saying about England being one of the favourites to win it. I have a horrible feeling that England might go out earlier than expected, and I feel like that earlier than expected could even be like round of 16 or sort of well beaten in a quarter final. I don't think this England team is as good as everyone's making it out to be. And I feel like with the external factors of the heat and the travel and other things that we have traditionally not done that well with in tournaments, I worry about England in this competition a lot. I mean, they will win the group, which we will be happy in saying. I think even if they're not good, they go on to win this group and they get out of it 100%. 100% they get out of this group, because even if on that last game, if they have not beaten either of the two other teams, they can go and put 7 or 8 past Panama and they can really get their goal difference up if they have to go for it. But I don't think that this England team is as good as everyone is making it out to be, and I think although we have quality, I don't think it's gonna work. Where do you stand on it?
Obviously Tuchel went with more of a bolder selection for the squad in the first place. You're leaving out Palmer, leaving out Foden, two big names who, one, we were desperate for him to get onto the pitch during the Euros, and then one in the last World Cup who was actually playing quite well in Phil Foden. So it's a very different team already to what it was 4 years ago. I think Harry Kane is the front runner for the Ballon d'Or, and he will be probably the best reason England have a chance of winning the whole tournament. As how far they go, they will get to the quarterfinal, and then we'll have to see from there. That is because it depends who we play against, what is the conditions, how we've been playing. I think on paper, England have a very good team. I think Pickford has never let England down as the goalkeeper. Reece James, we just need him to stay fit. We really do, because he's the best.
If he stays fit, And I think he's one of the best defensive players actually at this tournament as well. I think, in terms of his quality going forward, which everyone makes, a lot about, he whips in a really good set piece and, he gets up and gets crosses in. Defensively, I think he's so sound as well. But I mean, obviously I am biased because I'm a Chelsea fan. But I mean,
I was watching.
I think. Go on.
Yeah, I was watching the friendly against New Zealand, and I didn't like how we had Kwanzaa starting at right back, because he's not right back; he's a central defender. And a lot of New Zealand's attacks in that game, when they did get forward on the counter, was a ball into the left-hand side. But luckily for England, they did not have the quality of players to do anything with it. Also, Nico O'Reilly starting midfield, I did not like. He needs to start left back.
Hated it with the passion. Hated that with
Jed Spence, I can see why he started him.
He's right-footed playing left back.
But he also got the assist for the goal. And he's got the pace to get forward. But I don't want him in it unless we're playing in a back five, because that's how it will suit him better. But we don't play with a back five. Yeah. We shouldn't be playing. I'd say we've put up with Southgate's back five for the last 8 years or so. And we've done well in the tournaments. We'll give him credit. But there has been a thing where it's like, we could be playing better football with a back four and going a bit more offensively. I think Elliot Anderson would be good to start. I think he's been solid alongside Declan Rice. And then the three that will play behind Kane is probably the one up for debate, because Saka, of course, is
Saka
good.
On the right-hand side has to be there. On the left side, you've got Gordon or Rashford, both of which are very good options, and I don't hate which either one starts. I really like Gordon, but when you look at Marcus Rashford's record in an England shirt, that speaks for itself. The Bellingham and Morgan Rogers debate, which will be for the number 10 role, is one that's very interesting. Again, I don't feel that anyone really in an England shirt in that last friendly had anything really to write home about.
It was a training game at the best. Like, that's but then they have another friendly.
My worry
soon.
I think tomorrow. Time of recording.
We've got to see a team that will be more likely to actually start in the first game of the World Cup. Maybe
I think you need to play your first 11 in that first half. I think that would be my personal aim. But
or even make the players play up more of an intensity so they are ready, because it was just so slow, and it's like it's not going to get any colder in this tournament. No. It's not. You've got to deal with the heat, and it's hot, but everyone's playing in that heat.
The only thing I will say is that England with the heat, England in Miami, or in Florida, sorry, I should say, England's training base in Miami, they want to deal with the heat, so then they can go other places around the tournament where it will be cooler. That's just because of the geography rather than the heat. The heat will still be there. You're talking about a difference of a couple degrees. The humidity will be ever so slightly different. But either way, rounding off this group, we know that England are going to go and win it.
Yeah.
We are confident England are going to go and win it. Where does your second place go? Because I'm not sure that in this, one of the third place teams gets through. And for me, I think Ghana are better. So that will be where my second place goes. Panama will finish fourth.
It's the attacking flair of Ghana versus the experience of Croatia. I think that's what it'll come down to for second. And for the tournament's sake, I would hope Ghana then progresses, because it'll be more exciting. You'll have more fun games. You'll see more goals. Croatia, we have enjoyed watching them the last couple of tournaments, but I think this is going to be the end of this kind of generation for them, where we see the decline.
It's the beginning of the end, I think.
And obviously it's sad to see, because they've been brilliant, and you don't want Modric to go out in such a bad way either. But Ghana, with their attacking prowess, I think it's going to be them second, Croatia third, Panama fourth, but then Croatia will probably get knocked out of that third spot because of their poor goal difference.
Yeah, the only thing that might help them might be the fact that if they can keep games, close. I don't think England are going to go and massively exert that much energy and power against Croatia in that first game. I feel like it's going to be sort of built into the tournament. England also have the lovely luxury of being, I think, one of the last teams to play. So you could decide whether you want to become first or second in the group to then pick which side of the draw you want to be on, which I think is going to be a contributing factor. But I think that England and Croatia are the two teams on paper that should go through. But I think that Ghana, with the attacking flair and how important I think goals are going to be in this tournament, I think they're going to be the ones that do get over the line.
Which, again, we'll just get one last point. Ghana is actually the lowest ranked team in this group, and the fact that we think they'll finish second is probably, a big plus to them of like how people can view them from the outside and how they think they're, because Panama are above them, Croatia is way above them. So it's
but
definitely
Croatia,
worth...
I don't feel like should be above them, but I mean that's obviously different things. No. But that last game, of Croatia versus Ghana, it's a 10 o'clock kickoff, the same time as England Panama. I would love that game. I mean, I think even as an England fan, if England have already gone through, I think I would be very likely to watch that Croatia-Ghana game because it's a shootout for that last place. And I think that, I'd hope that both of those teams would leave it all out there and just leave the flair that they've got. I just think that little bit more flair goes to Ghana myself.